Welcome back. There are an estimated 1.6 billion Muslims worldwide, making it the second largest religion after Christianity. For believers, the holy month of Ramadan, which began last Friday evening, is particularly important. In mainland China, the Islamic community is having a tough time. In the country's largest Muslim provinces like Xinjiang, with its 10 million Uyghurs, the central government has banned Islamic baby names, burqas and abnormal beards, and plans to implement DNA checks as a mean of controlling the movement of Muslims. This year, it's also trying to stop people fasting during Ramadan and has ordered all restaurants to remain open. In Hong Kong, Ramadan is still observed, particularly by the SAR's Indonesian community, many of whom are working as domestic helpers.
This year, the first day of fasting for Ramadan, which follows a lunar calendar, was 27th of May. For Muslims, Ramadan, which lasts either 29 or 30 days, is a sacred festival and a sacred duty. With a few exceptions, including advanced age or ill health, they should fast between sun-up and sunset. They should also practice self-restraint, praying according to a strict schedule, and involve themselves in charitable activities. According to figures from the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia in Hong Kong, around 174,000 Indonesians work or live in Hong Kong. Some 95% of them are Muslims. For those who are homesick, the festival can also feel like something of an antidote. A week before the start of Ramadan, hundreds of Indonesians in Hong Kong organized a rally called Ramadan Pawai to celebrate the approaching festival with their very own language and customs. Porcelain artist Yuni Asmara and her husband Uruma moved here from Japan 6 years ago. For them, the city provides many conveniences, including the fact that it's relatively easy to buy Indonesian groceries. Still, though, they find that living as Muslims in Hong Kong can have its quirks, particularly as many local people don't understand their religion's dietary restrictions.
There is one shop in Wan Chai area. There is actually, it's divided into two, the refrigerator in here and here. This part is halal, and this part is not halal, you know, but over this is fish, halal fish. Oh, then I explained to the shop owner, fish is already halal, so no worry, so you don't need to put it in here. Yes, that's a funny thing in Hong Kong.
Fasting in daylight hours is an important part of Ramadan. But the evening meal, or iftar, which is also called buka puasa in Indonesia, is also important and often a time of community and celebration. For Indonesian Muslims, it begins with a sweet dessert.
Since my childhood, I have like dessert first and pray and eat the big meal. I will eat all first and then go to pray. So, you know, I cannot bear it. So before azan, before the fasting break, I always already, you know, prepare all my things in front of my face. So yeah.
According to the Quran, praying 5 times a day during Ramadan is a task assigned by Allah. If they miss a prayer due to work or travel, they can compensate by doing it later in a day. One thing that troubles Urma is that it is hard for him to pray during his working hours.
I don't know the other people, but my experience, yes. We don't have any praying room. Of course, if I asking to the HR, maybe they will prepare, but it's like declaring, right? I'm just hesitating to say that. Because I'm the only one. Yeah. If I have 10 people, then it's a different.
This Wan Chai mosque offers a meal to break the fast every night during Ramadan. Many Indonesian domestic helpers come to prepare food and share it with other Muslims. The Imam says that many Hongkongers misunderstand the rules for fasting during Ramadan. The mosque has organized seminars and printed leaflets to help others, particularly those employing Indonesian domestic helpers to better understand their religion and the meaning of the festival.
我就聽到咧有人咧就同我講，佢話你啲回教徒啦，到咗齋戒月啦，成個月唔食嘢，頂得順啦，係嘛？頂得㗎啦，係嘛？咁我就同佢講，我話冇可能㗎，我如果呢個月唔食嘢，我話死咗啦，一早死咗啦，係嘛？我唔係話呢個月唔食嘢，係嘛？係指一日白天咧日頭唔食嘢，飲水都唔得，唔可以有任何啲嘢啦。 入到肚入邊，夜晚黑啦可以食嘢嘅。有啲僱主啊、老闆啦就話咧，唔俾佢啲工人啦齋戒。佢話你唔食嘢，邊度有你做嘢啦？其實我都聽到有咁嘅講法，咁我就解釋俾佢哋聽啦。其實齋戒啦係唔會影響嗰個工作㗎。
May has worked as domestic helper in Hong Kong for 20 years. She says going to the mosque to prepare food and pray together with the fellow faithful reminds her of her hometown in Surabaya. She remembers that when she first arrived in Hong Kong, she felt somewhat isolated and initially found it a little hard to adjust.
第一次嚟嗰陣時咧，好似好怪怪咁樣，即係冇嗰啲Muslim冇嗰啲包頭啦。因為我第一次過嚟咧，好少嗰啲人哋包頭咁樣嘅。而家好多咗嗰啲姐姐嘅會教嘅，即係好多嗰啲老闆都明白嘅而家，以前冇咁明白咯嘅。
We work together with a number of NGOs. We work together with a number of Hong Kong authorities on basically giving their awareness on living in Hong Kong and all of the rights and obligations, including the rights to practice their religion.
Indonesian chef William Wang Su believes that food could have a role to play in increasing knowledge of and understanding between cultures and countries. He began his career as a pastry chef in the late 70s, before deciding to focus on Indonesian cuisine. He has spent 35 years researching different food cultures and ingredients in different regions of the country. He spent 6 years writing this cookbook, which was named Best Book of the Year at 2017 Gourmet World Cookbook Awards just a week ago.
This book is, I'm trying to introduce the essence of our flavors of tradition. Indonesia is known, we have 17,000 islands. You know, there's a span from east to the west to east is about 5,000 kilometers. And it's so much diversity. There is no Indonesian food. What we say is regional cooking. So in that aspect, I would say we have the most diverse cuisine in the world, from region by region, village by village, and so forth. And even for Indonesians themselves, I don't think any of them ever taste the food of these 17,000 islands. In fact, it's only 8,000 inhabited.
Chef William says that during Ramadan in Indonesia, different regions have their own signature dishes. In Western Sumatra, rendang is a must-eat item.
The feast, the process of rendang in Western Sumatra is a long process. Start from the grandma and the son and the grandson to have to turn the cook slowly for can be 6, 8, or 9 hours, come in 10 hours. This is it's a ritual for Western Sumatra. They must have rendang.
For Muslim, the Ramadan is the most, sacred month in the whole year for a Muslim. So yeah, this is the time for us to feel and how the poor feel when we don't eat the whole day. Actually, for Ramadan, yeah, it's healthy for body and soul.